All right, good opener for the league, and obviously they were down some key guys, and unfortunate for them. They've had a great non-conference run here, and with two Power Five wins, and I've got a lot of respect for Bucky and what he's been able to do in a short time there, and it's just you can see it on film when people know what they're doing, and he knows what he's doing, and they've flipped that roster pretty quickly, and coming off the Ole Miss win. It was definitely it's a challenging prep, and we knew we had our work cut out for us, and I thought our guys, the defensive intensity, I thought that was the most consistent we've been on the defensive end all season. I thought that we were able to sustain it for the most part, and I don't know. I mean, you guys would have the numbers better than me, but the last time we were plus 14 on the boards in a conference game, I think that's a really good sign that we've made some ground there and we're improving there. And I do think, like I've said, I think that, we're going to find out in league play if playing a schedule that hard and challenging was going to prepare us. And I think tonight some of that you saw that a little bit. I think that, our 9 league schedule was a bear, and I think it prepared us. I think it showed us what we needed to get better at, and it was encouraging to see lowest defensive field goal percentage of the season for us tonight. It had to be the highest rebounding margin game tonight. We had 5 double-figure scores. We had 21 assists. And Jalen Slauson, another double-double. Joe Anderson, career high coming off the PC game. And we were able to play basically almost – we played 10 guys almost 10 minutes or more. I think Pergese, we got him 8 or 9. So, we were able to get a lot of bodies in there. And I thought Garrett Heen really got back to looking like we need him to look. And then the rest of them, I thought Mike Bothwell – I think that's the hardest he played all year. I really do. And just watching it live, I thought he had a great focus. I thought he went out there to rebound, to get deflections, to sit down in a stance. I thought he had a great voice leadership-wise. And when you can focus on that and you just let your God-given talent, we all know he's a great player, you just let that take over. You can relax in that. And I think he's done a great job of being able to do that coming off the Mississippi State game. And it's been nice to see his response to that little valley of adversity there. And I think he's just focusing on the non-scoring parts of the game that affect winning, and then he's letting the rest of it take care of itself. And great to see Alex Hunter back out there after going the scary fall that we saw him with. And Marcus has been a little bit limited the last couple of days, so we had to limit his minutes a little bit, but I still thought he did some things to help us, had some big offensive rebounds. And then I'm telling you, it's amazing what Conley Garrison does without necessarily scoring the ball. He just plays the game the right way. And in my 5 years, I don't think I've ever asked a kid to shoot more that won't shoot open shots. And I told him at halftime if he passes up another one, I'm going to come out on the court myself. And he ended up passing one up on the right wing over there, and it was too far to me to get him. But he's somebody that I just love watching him play the game. So complete team win. Loved our defensive effort, loved our glass coverage, and thought we did a great job taking care of the ball for the most part in the press. I thought we did a poor job of having some loose plays and turn the ball over a little bit too much in the half court.
It did seem like that they really made things difficult right off the bat at the beginning of the game. The first 5 minutes of the game was sloppy for both teams with sometimes turnovers, two switching. But it did seem like once you got a spurt that it seemed to undermine, that took the starch out of there. They were pressing, but not as fervently.
Yeah, well, we didn't get the first couple of possessions of the press. We did a bad job running routes, and we were a little bit stagnant. The very first press possession, we tried to throw it over, and they picked it off, and we just weren't getting open well. And you got to run good routes. You got to get open. You got to be able to play in space. You got to be physical. And the first couple of possessions, it looked like the press was getting us a little bit, but I thought after that we did a great job with it. And it's what they do. They work on it, and they're 10-2 coming in this game. They've had a great year so far, and that's a little bit of their identity. And so you've got to manage that press. And I thought after the first media, I thought we did a much better job the rest of the game, and it was a big part of us having success tonight.
Coach, the score dictated that you got to play a lot of guys, but it seemed like you started playing a lot of guys early. Is that just kind of given what you know that Samford does? You knew we were going to kind of.
Yeah, the tempo was it was fast, and last year they were like 90 possessions a game. Now they've adjusted, in year 2, and they're playing a little bit at a slower pace than they did the first year. They're probably in the mid to low 70s possession wise, and we want to fight to be in that area too. So I knew the tempo was going to be with the pressing and the way we were choosing to attack it. I knew we were going to be up and down the court a good bit. And, we've also, Scott, we've had guys practice well. And I think that's when you walk off the practice court. 2 days ago, we had a great practice. And when you walk off the practice court and you got your main guys, but then Garrett Heen has a great practice and Jalen Pugh has a great practice and Joe Anderson has another big-time practice. Like, you want to get those guys in the game. And Tyrese Huey's playing well, and Marcus Foster's doing good things. Like, if we can get to 9 and we can have 9 practice well, and we can go throw 9 at people, and we can stay fresh, and we can keep the tempo up, maybe that's what we need to be doing. But we're not going to put guys out there that don't practice with the type of intensity that we need on a consistent basis. And I think that's what's been big. We didn't. A lot of times coming off the break, you'll have a bad practice, and we didn't have a bad practice. And I think if we can continue to get guys to show up to the gym, get their work in, do their film study, making sure they come to practice with the right intensity, then I think it gives us a luxury to play 9 or 10. I mean, Pegues was good tonight. He would have loved to see a couple of those balls go down, as would have I. But I think he can. We know he can play here. We've seen that. We've seen what he did, in games that he's played in the early part of the season. So, heck, if we can get 10, there's nothing wrong with that. So, we're going to put as many guys out there that earn the right to play and how they practice. And part of earning that is just bringing the consistent level of intensity that's required for us to play at the level we want to play at.
I'm looking at the score, at the stats, and I can't find anything other than turnovers that appear to be much of a concern, even as far as not having many personal fouls or people in foul trouble. But I would think that turnovers was the only concern from this game.
It was, and just the way we did it, it just frustrated me a little bit. I thought we had some turnovers, and I still think we missed a couple bunnies around the basket. We got to continue to work on just finishing at the rim and, being able to not just be able to deal with the contact, but just embrace the contact and go get fouled and be physical. I thought we just kind of choked a few balls up there, and those are the big 2 things I saw, is just loose really in the half court. I thought we had some over dribbles. I thought we had a couple of loose passes, and then man, we must have missed about it felt like 6, 7 just close ones, and that's something that we've been working on it. We got to continue to work on it. And, we've been doing it in practice. We've been working on verticality so that we can get more contact on finishes. And I'm not sure our finishing has gotten quite where we need it to be. But I tell you what, our verticality has gotten better. And we had, you mentioned the low foul number. We had some really, really good verticality plays tonight at the rim where we were able to contest finishers without fouling. And it's been nice to see some improvement there.
Coach, it's easy to kind of overlook some of the improvements Jalen Slauson made because he's made so many. But I thought one of the things that I noticed just first basket tonight, he backs his guy down, makes a tough turnaround shot, and for such a violent at times player, I mean not a good one, fearless, violent player, he's got such a soft touch on his shot. I mean that ball hit the left side of the rim and fell through. It seems like that's part of the thing that he's also worked on.
Yeah, I mean he's done a great job of just really trying to make his offensive game complete. Jalen Slauson, again, a guy that he was in the gym more than ever this offseason, and I think you're starting to see a lot of that pay off. And to be honest with you, with him, it's being confident in all those areas. And it's funny. I watched my favorite movie as a kid was Pistol, and the Pistol Pete documentary. I must have watched it 50 times when I was little, and I couldn't find it on all the streaming devices. I've been wanting Mac to watch it, and Mike Shabaro found it and emailed it to me. And so I was going to watch it with my son Mac, but then Audrey wanted to watch it, and Jessica, we watched it over the break. And it's funny, Press, coach at Clemson LSU, it's the beginning of the movie, said, basketball is a game of confidence, and you got to go out there and you got to play with confidence. And nothing more true. And I think for Jalen, what you're seeing is you're seeing a more confident offensive player. And I think he can continue to go down there and be more confident. Take good ones, but as long as they're good ones, take as many as you need to take. And I love him driving the ball. I love his shot stop, and I love his ability to get in the paint and make plays for others. But there are some times where I think he should shoot the ball, And there's also times where tonight they started switching ball screens, like roll that guy down there and post, and let's give it to you, and trust your jump hook, trust your post game. And I think sometimes he loves driving, he loves making plays with the ball in his hand off the bounce, and I love that about him, and it makes our offense very hard to guard. But I do want him to continue to have confidence in his perimeter shot and have confidence in his post-game down low to give him that full, complete arsenal.
And then Coach Joe Anderson, I feel like as if he suffers from the same thing with Conley, that he might pass open a few shots here and there, but tonight he took 10 shots, and usually he takes the corner three and he knocks them down, but tonight he was pulling up from midi, but he went 5 for 10, took 10 shots and 14 points. I know you spoke a little bit about him in the opener, but what you see out of Joe Anderson tonight?
Just a guy that's playing with a lot of confidence. Guys, I love him out there right now. He's just playing really, really hard. He's competing, and he makes plays for others. He drives to find shooters, and it's the paradox of the game that I feel like is why it's so applicable to life. Like when you go out there and you look to serve your teammates, things come back to you. And I mean, how many times tonight do we see him push the ball, find a play, find a guy? And then, what ends up happening is people start staying out on those shooters, and he gets to lay up late. He pulls up on the mid-range shot, and then the ball finds him. And I think the ball found him a lot tonight. And, it's the more you give it, the more the ball comes back to you. And that's the thing I love about it right now is he passed up a shot early in the game on the right wing. And I brought him over there and told him, I said, don't do that again. Like, get the ball up in the air. You're in the gym all the time. You've earned the right to be able to shoot those shots. And goes 50% tonight. And, man, I even thought they switched him, and he decided to pull that hezzy three, and I thought it was in. I really did. It was right in front of me. But I love when those guys play with confidence. I really do. And confidence is earned. Confidence is not some mystical force, right? It's not some like, hey, if I get in a room and I get my mind right, like confidence is earned. And you earn it through demonstrated repetition done the right way over the course of time. And he's earned that because he was in the gym all summer and all fall. And even with the adversity that he went through and not playing as much as, we all wanted to be playing early in the year, everything he did in the summer and in the off season, right? It's all paying dividends at this point. And that's why he gets the opportunity to go out there and play confident, because he's earned it. And, so he's basically a starter for us right now. I mean, he's somebody that we want out there as much as we can get him out there. And it allows us to be able to rest Alex and Mike, which I think that was a big thing tonight. We didn't play anybody more than 28 minutes, and I thought it allowed us to stay fresh.
Good.
All right, good deal.